So I just sat here to record this video and spilled a coffee this big all over the table that's right in front of me by reaching up from where I'm sitting to press the record button. My elbow hit it and I covered a whole SD card in coffee. It wasn't even recording. It wasn't even worth it. I barely recovered. I'm barely here right now recording this. I'm having to pick myself back up to do this video. But luckily it fits the vibe because I'm going to do this one with no script because I tried to do the last video with a script to keep it, like structured and put in B-roll, have segments. This dude commented and was like, "Did you chat GPT your script?" And so I'm going to try to do this one with no script at all, just straight to the camera. And I'm feeling a bit better than I was last week, so it should be a little bit easier. But in this video, I wanted to talk about the 3 Ds, maybe more Ds, but these 3 Ds, the Ds that I face the most. Let me just make sure they are the ones. Depression, doubt, and debt. So I'm a creative. I'm many things. I'm not great at those things yet. Photography, filmmaking. I do a lot. My wife and I are wedding photographers. I'm a filmmaker. I want to be great, but right now, the only thing I'm great at, I think, is picking myself up after being down. I've done that repeatedly over and over again. And so I feel like something that I can talk straight off the dome about is, as a creative, how to pick yourself back up when you're dealing with some of these internal and external challenges and feelings. So let's start with depression. Number one, I don't know too much about depression. So I will say that some of the things I'm going to say won't work for all cases, of course. There's a lot of things that you will need more help to overcome. So if you're going through one of those things, and you're really sad, it's tough to get out of bed, it's hard to do anything, I'll have some things in this video to help encourage you, but really you should seek some help and talk to somebody. But there has been many days that myself, I haven't been able to get out of bed, I think all last week and the week before that, it was tough for me to, get out of bed. It's tough for me to even admit that here, but I feel like that's my life. That's my truth. So, and luckily I'm in a good place right now and I can speak on it. I was going to make a video about this last week, but I'd be just sitting here probably sobbing and you guys would have been like, "Dude, don't make a video. Go see a therapist." I probably still should. All right, so let's get into it. So dealing with depression as an artist can be difficult because it's really hard to create things. And that's what makes us happy, is when we're creating, when life's got us down, whatever the reason, family, work, money, a lot of these things can come in and make you feel like you're not yourself. And then that can compound and you can get pretty low and it can be impossible to get out. And I've been in that place many times. And I have also been in a good place almost a week later and thought like, man, if only I could take what I'm feeling in my brain this week and just like put it in my brain last week, I could like overcome this, but no, it doesn't work like that. So that's why, encouragement and things like that don't always work on depressed people. You've got to figure it out on your own. And so if you're dealing with depression, number one, talk to somebody, like for me, I should have gone to a therapist. I didn't, but my best friend is my wife and she's always there encouraging me. And also, the last 2 weekends, I saw some really good friends of mine. And I also got some really good news from one of them. Just quality time with people who know you, not just your own voice in your brain, but quality time with people who know you can help you have a refreshed look at the world and can almost remind you that you still have some of the same characteristics that you did. Because in a lot of ways, that's why many of us are sad. I mean, that's why sometimes I'm sad, is because I'm not living up to who I wish I could be, or I'm not even as good or think I am as good as I even was. You don't know if that's true, your mind plays tricks on you. And I think that that's where being patient and understanding and learning to deal with emotions and learning to understand that like this feeling that you're feeling one day could be because of other factors. Like for me, it could be because of food. It could be because of lack of sleep. It could be because of lack of water. It could be because of lack of exercise. There's a lot of things that contribute to a feeling in a moment that you shouldn't put too much emphasis on. But to give you some tips on how I kind of bring myself out of depression is you got to start very, very small. So if like you have a certain goal, you want to get in shape, you want to write a script, you want to make a movie, you want to make a video, you want to do anything, start with the smallest possible thing you can do. Like for me, I would love to write 3 pages a day. That can be so hard sometimes. So I'll just go, you know what? I'm going to write 1. But I even give myself credit if I write half a page. Sometimes I'll write like 3 words, like today is shit. And I feel a little bit better about just putting that down on paper and then knowing that like tomorrow, if I write again the next day, you've got 2 days back to back. Now make it a third. There's like a Jerry Seinfeld thing where like he'd keep a calendar, and I once did it too. And you put like a red slash for every day that you did the thing, and you watch on the calendar as you fill up the days, and then you don't want to miss that day. So you got to start small. And so it's the same with exercise. If you want to start running and you haven't in a while, walk first, and walk for 10 minutes first. So start very small. And another thing, like I said, is talk to somebody, whether it's like a professional or a friend or a family member or somebody. And then another thing is just freaking force yourself to start doing the thing. That's a lot of the times that I'm feeling depressed is when I'm avoiding the project that I know that I want to do. Going and sitting in the chair for the first time after a while, when you're really not feeling confident, when you're really feeling down, can be really tough. But you got to force yourself to do it. Sit down and force yourself to do something and just get started, because I promise you, the way that your brain can handle work after a rut is completely different than the way that your brain and body can handle work after you put a week in a row in. It's night and day different. So just stick to it, trust the process, and don't put too much emphasis on a feeling in a certain moment. Doubt is another thing. It's a big thing for creators. Everybody has imposter syndrome. That's like the first thing you learn when you become any type of artist or creator or anything, is like you get so passionate about this thing, you start to get good at it, then you see how good everybody else is. And it can be really discouraging. So you've got to just remember that you're comparing yourself to who you were yesterday. And you got to remember that doubt does hit the hardest when you're inactive. For me specifically, sometimes my weakness is sometimes planning. I'm really good in the moment, in action. That lack of planning is what's causing the doubt. So just killing some of that time, of course, with actually doing something, pre-production planning, will make you feel confident. But then, you got to trust yourself. You got to trust your skills, trust everything that you did to get to where you are. And doubt can be a serious silent killer. It can keep you from so many opportunities. I know it's kept me from opportunities, and I'm trying to make sure it doesn't keep me from any more. It's one thing to be humble. It's one thing to be, grounded, but it's another thing to just not be confident, not trust yourself, not, know that you can do something. People want to be around people who can do things and know that they can do them. Don't be a dick about it. That's a D that you should avoid. Dickheads.
Spend less time with the kids.
Spend less?
Less time with the kids. They just waste your time.
I can't believe a father would say spend less time with your kids.
No, dickheads.
Don't be one and stay away from them. So yeah, again, also talking to somebody really helps doubt as well. That's something I use to help get out of it, like talk to somebody about a project. They can lift you back up, and that helps. But yeah, definitely the same thing works for this. Do something small. Build your self-confidence again. Try to figure out, like for me, it was maybe like making a simple YouTube video like this, just reminding myself that I actually do know how to put it together and do something well, like making a cool reel on social media. Not everything has to be perfect. And I need to tell myself that more often. That's the hardest thing for me, and so you just got to understand that each project has its own goals and challenges. Not everything is going to be, the greatest thing you've ever made. And you've got to know when you need to take smaller steps to build momentum before you can, knock out the big project. The third one is debt. And I put this one third because it can definitely have like a backwards impact on the first two, depression and doubt. When you're in debt, life can be pretty bleak if you choose to look at it that way. Can't make your art because you got to worry about making money. Can't do all the things you love because now you got to budget and worry about your money and payment plan and all these things, these responsible things that we should be doing as responsible adults, not artists. Some artists shouldn't worry about money. I'm one of them. I don't want to look at my bank account, but because I also am a business person, I have to. And I'm teaching myself to be more of that business person, to be organized in that way. But the important thing is to pay attention to it, to tackle it, to face it. That can be a big motivator, you know, looking at the hole you're in and knowing that in a lot of ways, the only way to get out of it is to completely change the situation you're in. Lock in for months, focus, and know that the only thing that matters, the only way you're going to be able to create your art, the only way you're going to be able to take those next steps is by tackling the debt first. I think one of the most frustrating things about my experience so far is that I've been trying to make this feature film for a couple of years now, and when the time comes, the time will come, and I know it'll be right, but I know that one of the biggest things holding me back is money. I mean, that's what holds back all filmmakers, basically. But, you know, if I had $0, I'd be ready to make this movie. But I have -dollars. You can't make a film when you have -dollars. That's irresponsible to yourself and your family. But that's why I'm choosing to look at this as a sign, you know. I'm not quite ready to make this film because obviously I don't have money. But you know, there's also some other skills that I could learn before that. Number one is making money. That would be a great skill to learn before I make this movie. That way we can make money from the movie, maybe, and then make another. Some practical things that I use to help pay off my debt in the past is, you know, like the snowball effect, starting with the card that has the smallest amount of debt. You know, tackling that first, it's another one of those things that helps you build momentum. Obviously, stop eating out, spending a lot less. That sounds so depressing, but it is the only way out. But the biggest thing, and I think the most exciting thing, and the thing that can get you fired up and can almost, in a way, if you really can flip the way you're looking at everything, you know, even fix some of the depression that you're feeling with the doubt, is lock in, literally. You know, like get like I'm talking to myself too. Like I need to get to work, dude. But you know, start looking for jobs, start reaching out to your contacts, start asking for help. I think that that's a thing that a lot of people don't do these days, is ask for help. Like reach out to people you know and say, look, I'm a filmmaker, photographer, video producer, whatever, and I can do this for money. Dude, I need to do this like today. I did it earlier. They didn't answer yet. And that's like where the doubt comes in, because like you start like thinking, you know, why didn't this person answer? Am I good enough? No, you are. And if you're not, lock in, and you will be in a little bit. And that brings me to the final D that I sometimes avoid, but it's the only D you need, is discipline. That sounds so stupid. But yeah, as terrible as that word can sound to creators and artists, discipline is how the work gets done, you know? Like, people think that writers are like this majestic characters that just spit words and books out fully formed. It's like, no, you write a shitty first draft and it's terrible, and then you go back and you fix it. And you can only do that by putting in the time, by putting in the hours every single day. Like back to that Jerry Seinfeld calendar. Like I think when I was my most productive, it was literally like I had like a red Sharpie for writing, a green Sharpie for exercise, and a blue Sharpie for like work, trying to make money, doing things that will help me make money. So that way, like I'm hitting the three main things. I believe in putting the work in every day. I mean, when I wrote my first feature, I even forced myself to write 3 pages plastered drunk at my best friend's wedding. Like, come home 3 a.m. and just like scribble. It's illegible, but it's there, and it's the same thing. Like, you don't skip a day. You don't want to break that cycle. The best way is to start small. Start with one day, then do the next, and start to build up slowly over time. Let me think of one more thing to end this on. Reading is really good. Reading helps. There's a lot of books behind me that I have not read, and a few that I have. Damn, I'm avoiding the most important thing. Stay off the fucking phone. I gotta stay off the phone. Phone is right there. You have this bullshit device that's always with you. You're always like connected to everybody. You have this free access to everybody. And it shouldn't be the case, you know. We should be harder to reach. Like, for most people, I want you to, like, watch my movies and then you can, like, hear the things that I think then. That's so contradictory. I'm literally making, like, 15-minute video about just talking. So you know all the things I think. But yeah, we should be harder to reach. Stay off the phone. Stay positive. Stay hopeful. And exercise. And start small. Talk to friends. Drink coffee. Don't spill it. Thank you for watching. I hope there was something helpful in this video. If not, I'm sorry. I tried. Until next time, thank you for watching and good luck. Don't give up. Stay strong. Keep creating. Start small and avoid dickheads.